Okay, so I think the craziness of this week is starting to slow down, but there is still some crazy stuff happening, such as a huge update to the whole Corl situation. This country might not be able to play some Roblox games, and Roblox accounts under the age of 13 can now actually change their birthday if they said it wrong, and just so much more stuff. But before I get into all that, I'm going to ask you to subscribe because I am kind of sick right now. If you couldn't tell by my stuffy nose. I mean, maybe you could hear it. I don't know. Either way, please subscribe because I'm pretty sick, and that's it. Let's get to the video. Because the first story, I think, is quite important to talk about because the Corl situation. He came back and he apologized to everyone that he has, been rude to and whatnot. And one main person that he apologized to was someone named Tiff. And if you weren't around 5 years ago at this point, you probably don't really know who that is. But Tiff was someone on Twitter that was just a fan of the pals. I think she got like the pals on like a jersey or something, and then that just like made Corl say cringe, I guess. I don't really remember the exact drama. But either way, that Tiff person is back, and they actually had a response to what Corl said on Instagram with this tweet right here being their tweet about it, saying, "Well, how do I start this? I'm Tiffany, formerly known as Tiff Stuff. I'm 22 and I am an old fan of the pals. This will be posted in many parts, but I'll be like Corl and post a funky photo for now while I gather my words." And then she just goes and has a big long thread about, her experience and, what has happened since that whole thing happened, how it made her feel and like whatnot. But I think the general consensus is between both of these people here that there is forgiveness here, and that Tiff forgives Corl for what he did. And as you can see in the comments, you can see a lot of people saying that it's the good ending, it's a happy ending, and you can see Tiff replying saying it is a good ending to the situation. And honestly, I think that's just really sweet, man. Like, I didn't think that in 5 years, ever since this happened, we'd have something so wholesome happen like this. I don't know. But either way, we can now move on to the next story, which just happens to be this thing that you've probably seen. But basically, Roblox has started rolling out the ability for users with account ages locked under the age of 13 to correct their birthday within settings, which is something that is pretty dang important because since the dawn of time on Roblox, I say that a lot, but I mean it this time, there's been a scam where people will basically tell you to set your birth date to like 2024 or like the current date, and you'll get like free Robux. And for some reason, people fall for that, and as soon as they do that, their account will get locked to under 13, which is kind of funny, but also kind of messed up because when your account is locked to under 13, you cannot ever change it. I think you can contact support and maybe like verify your ID, but sometimes people can't do that, in which then they're stuck in a under 13 state where they can't like say certain things in chat, they can't see certain things, they can't see Discord links, which is good if you're actually under the age of 13, but there is some people that aren't actually under the age of 13. They're over the age of 13 and their accounts on Roblox are stuck to under 13 because they made a stupid mistake like that. But TLDR, Roblox is finally releasing an update that will allow you to just change it yourself if that is the case. Now, if you are under 13 and you go to change it, it probably won't be allowed, but if you did make a mistake like I mentioned earlier and you are above the age of 13, you can now change that. With a dev forum post saying this: "Hello creators, today we are announcing that we are allowing users under the age of 13 to correct their birthday within their settings. This will allow all users the ability to correct their age. As users over the age of 13 already have this ability, we hope that enabling all users to correct their age will help creators serve age-appropriate content and better engage with their community." Which, yeah, is pretty cool. But now we can move on to the next story, which is also pretty massive, and it's basically, this game getting deleted. This massive game called Kart Ride into 17 Pregnant Hyenas, guys. I saw a bunch of tweets talking about it because it got deleted yesterday, and the reason this is just a big deal is because the game absolutely blew up over the past 2 weeks for some reason. I don't know the lore behind the game, but I did a voice line for a Jackery's video where I mentioned it, I think, like 2 years ago at this point, I think. But it absolutely blew up over the past 2 weeks, and so many people have been playing it to the point where someone tweeted out that it got deleted on Twitter and got 40,000 likes. Now, I can't show the full tweet because I might get deleted if I show it. But either way, if you go to this tweet with 40,000 likes and you go into the comments, you can see just a bunch of people so sad because it was the best game ever, guys. It was an amazing game. But yeah, either way, kind of funny that it got deleted, but I do think it is back. I don't know if it got re-uploaded or if it actually got unbanned, but I did see some people talking about how it was back on the platform in some way, shape, or form. So if you were a big fan of that game, I guess you can still play it. I don't know. But either way, we can now move on to a actually bigger story, which is this right here. So I saw this tweet from Maximum ADHD, basically just showing off a screenshot from the dev forum that basically showed that people in Australia will no longer be able to use paid random items. So if you are from Australia, you can no longer buy eggs in Pet Simulator X. Worst day ever. I know. This is a terrible day on planet Earth. But yeah, this has kind of been something that's been spreading around the world. Basically, every month, a new country kind of joins the forces to stop online gambling in games. And it seems like Australia is taking a step step in that direction, as Roblox made a dev forum post that said this: last month, we shared important updates to keep your experiences compliant with regional regulations, specifically for UK users under the age of 18. Starting on September 20th, those same changes will be in effect for all Australian users. So yeah, this basically just means that if there is a game on Roblox that has like loot boxes or paid random items, you probably won't be able to buy them if you're in Australia. And some of these games you might not even be able to play because these game developers might be inactive, or they might not, you know, abide by certain policy APIs and whatnot. So yeah, if you're in Australia, some of your favorite games might get blocked, but to be honest, I think most games do abide by these APIs now, because it's starting to be a lot more worth it to make your games work with these APIs. I think when they first like started coming out, it was like 2 countries, and people usually didn't care about those 2 countries, sadly. But now these laws are starting to spread to more countries, so it's a lot more worth it for developers to work around this type of stuff. So if you are from Australia, you shouldn't really be worried. Your favorite games are probably going to be fine. Now we can move on to the next story, which just happens to be the resizing update coming very, very soon, because now you can enable it yourself. But yeah, basically I saw this tweet right here from Lucas that says, it didn't say anything actually. He just kind of posted a screenshot of his profile where his hats were all rotated and weird looking. And I saw that and I was instantly like, wow, the update's out, I guess. So I went to go see if I had it and I didn't. But I went into the comments and I realized that there was actually a way where you can enable it yourself. Now, to enable this, you're going to have to change fast flags, which if you don't know what that is, probably don't even try to do this. If you do know what that is and you use something like bloxstrap, all you have to do is enable these things on your fast flags, I guess. Now, you don't need bloxstrap to do this, but it is kind of a hassle to do it without something like bloxstrap. And honestly, if you don't want to enable it or get bloxstrap or whatever, just wait like a week and this update should be out like for everybody. Maybe it'll take longer than a week, but I think it'll be pretty soon. But either way, we can now move on to the next story, which just happens to be a new hat that got added to Roblox that I think is kind of weird. But Lucas tweeted out this: Roblox uploaded the Optimus Prime helmet to the catalog. The description states it can be obtained when you purchase Robux between September 9th and September 19th. I don't know why this is a thing. Like, did Roblox actually get a sponsorship from Transformers? I don't know. But either way, if you go to the Buy Robux page, you can see that if you spend a certain amount of Robux, you get this hat. Now, I don't have this option for some reason. Thanks, Roblox. Oh, wait, looking in the description of this item, it says that it is brought to you by Transformers 1, only in cinemas. It's a sponsored item, but I think that's kind of obvious. But yeah, either way, if you spend at least $10 on Robux, you should get this item. And I think that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, it does kind of give me like classic Roblox hat vibes, which is kind of cool. But either way, we can now move on to the next story, which just happens to be this very interesting tweet that I saw from Julian, because it says, they better not be putting a sales limit on experience passes. And I saw this and I was very, very confused. Like, what does a sales limit mean? And what the heck is an experience pass? I'm guessing it's a game pass, but they changed the name of it. But either way, Julian seemed to have found something in like Roblox's API that might allude to there being a new feature on Roblox in the future where you can actually limit how many people can buy game passes. So you can have a game pass on sale that can only be bought for like a certain amount of people. Kind of like Roblox limited hats, which I don't know how to feel about this. You know, is that a good update or is it a bad update? I feel like it's kind of stupid. But either way, it's not confirmed. This is just something that, you know, Julian noticed and mentioned, and I thought it was interesting and I wanted to put it in a video. But now we can move on to the next story, and honestly, probably the least important one. But basically, Bloxy News tweeted out this: the audio API is now officially out of beta and available for all creators in Roblox Studio. With this API, there are 15 new instances that can be used to control sound and voice in your experiences. Now, yeah, I thought this was already out of beta, but it only went out of beta yesterday. So yeah. And guys, I also used this new audio API to make a game, and it's probably... And I also made a video on it, and it's probably in the outro right now. You can probably see it right here. So go watch it if you care. All right, bye.